Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, if you're in the state of California and you're dealing with past due bills or you're trying to get your car fixed and you need money right away, I'm going to show you some of the best places for you to get a loan when you have bad credit. Also, I'm going to show you a strategy on how to increase your income if you're working a W-2 job as well. Now, let's talk about the first lender. The first lender we're talking about is Opp Loan. Okay, and so as you can see right here, Opp Loan, they offer loans anywhere from $500 up to $4,000. Now, here's the thing you have to understand about it. With Opp Loan, I would say your cushion for the minimum income would be about $1,200. Now, if you're just coming out of a bankruptcy, they will work with you. Or if you may be in a bankruptcy chapter 13, but if you're currently in a chapter 7, they will not work with you. Okay? A 13, you have a higher chance of approval. Now, here's another thing that I would definitely tell you in terms of when you're going for loans like this, just keep in mind that interest rates is going to be much higher. Now, they would do a soft pull to see if you're pre-qualified, so you don't have to worry about a hard inquiry on your credit, because most of the time when people go to lenders like this, more likely they are already aware that you may have challenging credit, okay? So Opp Loans is going to be your first lender. Like I said, minimum income you're probably going to be looking at is about $1,100, $1,200 in order to get approved. Now, for most of these lenders that we're going to be talking about, they're usually between $500 to $1,500 on average income in order to approve you. Some of them are very flexible. But that being said, let's jump over to the next lender. And the next lender we're talking about is Uprover. Now, here's the thing about it with Uprover. They offer loans anywhere from $300 up to $5,000 as well. Okay? Now, the good thing about it, it will not affect your credit score to see if you're qualified. Now, one of the things about Uprover, they offer simple interest on the loans, okay? So they offer simple interest on the loans. What that means is that where most lenders, they're charging you these exuberant interest on the loans, they do not, okay? They really cap because they are a tribal lender. So if you went to the casino, you lost some money at the casino, what they do, they take that money and they re-lend it out, okay? Now, the next lender we're going to be talking about is Rise Credit, okay? And they operate in California as well. And as you can see here, they offer loans anywhere from $500 to $5,000, all right? And as you can see here, as proven, will not affect your credit score. Now, here's something that's interesting about Rise Credit. I want you all to understand that this is for most lenders, all right, that I'm going to be showing you. They may not do a hard pull on your Experian TransUnion. What they do, they use these third-party companies like Clarity and TeleCheck. Now, Clarity, which is owned by Experian, TeleCheck, which is owned by TransUnion. Now, there's also one called DataX, which is owned by Equifax, and then they may use LexNexis. Now, the reason they use these type of third-party credit lenders, because they're trying to see if you had a loan with them in the past and you did not take care of it, or if you filed bankruptcy with them as one of the lien holders or something like that. So that's the reason they check these. So if you get denied or whatever, more likely it ain't probably because of income. It's because you may have had a loan through one of the affiliates, and you may did not satisfy that loan, and so they had to turn you down. All right, so just to give you some insight. Now, the next lender we're talking about is Indylend. Now, here's the thing about it with Indylend. Their loans go anywhere from $200 up to $5,000, and again, we do not focus solely on credit score. All right, so that's the good part about it. But again, with Indylend, these type of Rise Credit, usually if you have at least $800 and up in income, they're willing to work with you. Now, the interesting thing about this that you need to understand is that this type of lender is not going to report your loan to the credit bureaus, okay? So that's a good thing to know, that it won't show up on your credit report. Now, there's another lender, and that's Funds Joy. Now, Funds Joy, as well, as you can see here, they offer loans from $200 up to $5,000 as well. All right, so they're not going to be focusing on the credit also, but just having a good discretionary income. Like I said, I would set minimum $800. So what that means is that basically, if you are on welfare, disability, but you say that you have somebody in the household that is paying you rent or sharing expenses with you, include that income. Now, I'm not saying being manipulative or facetious, but think about it. If you have extra income that's helping you support the bills and stuff, then that's income you can actually count. Or say that you're married and you have a spouse and you're trying to get a loan, then yes, you need to be including that income on the application. That way you can have a higher chance of approval. All right. Now, the next lender is Money Mutual. Now, again, with Money Mutual, again, it's not about the credit. Now, their minimum income that you need to have is usually about $500 with Money Mutual. So at least $500. But as you can see here, their loans go anywhere from $200 up to $5,000. Our next one is Opportun. Now, Opportun, again, as you can see here, their loans go anywhere from $300 up to $10,000, and it does not affect your credit. You can actually even apply for this type of loan with no Social Security card. That's the crazy part. Well, I would say crazy. It's a good thing that they are actually able to work with people even if you don't have a Social Security number. All right. Now, here's one thing that I would tell you guys before we go on to the higher dollar limit loans, is that if you are working a job, then I would suggest you going to your HR and you're requesting to file exempt anywhere from 3 to 4 months. That means that they're not going to be taking any taxes out of your check, and that way you have a larger paycheck to take home to pay more bills and things of that nature. Again, I know things are rough, things get more expensive, but the income doesn't go up. So I clearly understand that. Now, one of the other things that I definitely want to address, if you are a sole proprietor, or say that you have a business, you're in the gig economy, something like that, and you're not structured as a business, you're leaving money on the table, because there's a lot of other lenders out here that will give you money if you're in the gig economy, okay? And the minimum income that you have to have in the gig economy is usually about $1,500, but there's lenders out here that'll give you anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 or more if you were structured. And another thing I would tell you is definitely make sure that you operating a business, or say you're in the gig economy, when you structure the business, set yourself up on payroll, in which we can help you do that as well. If you have net credit, now with net credit, as you can see here, they offer loans up to $10,000 as well, and checking it will not affect your credit score. Now, another interesting thing about it is that with net credit, they also offer a line of credit. All right, it's $4,500. Now, the interesting thing about net credit and with their loan, with their line of credit, is for whatever amount you draw down on it, that's what they charge a fee on it. Okay, so say that you don't use the whole 45 at once, you may use 1,500 or 2,500, then they charge a fee on that 25 or instead of the whole 45. All right. But the thing about a line of credit, I like better than a loan, because you can pay it back and then you can get it again, without actually reapplying. So that's the reason that I like it. All right. Now, the next one is OneMain. Now, with OneMain, many of us are familiar with them. They offer loans for anywhere from $1,500 up to $20,000. But one of the best parts about it is you being able to get approved for funding without worrying about your credit. All right. Now, with OneMain, usually I would tell you definitely about $800 to $1,000 minimum income that you should have. All right. Now, our next lender is Upstart. Now, with Upstart, as you can see, won't affect your credit. Now, with Upstart, their loans go anywhere, from $1,000 up to $50,000. That's right. And again, like I said, it's usually Upstart, they are FICO 9. Now, I'm finna share something with you that's very important, all right? With the FICO 9 scoring, this is the key thing that I keep on telling people. When you're going for lenders with FICO 9, they're the best. They're better than the FICO 8 scoring. But with your FICO 9 scoring, you can add authorized users. So if you need help choosing the right authorized users, you can click the link in the description and I can share with you which would be the best authorized user to boost up your credit score. That being said, you can add rental payments to your credit file. You can add subscriptions to your credit file as well as utilities. All right. And I also have companies that actually will help you do just that. All right. So for those of you that's trying to boost up your credit score and don't know the right place to go to get the rent, the utility subscription, I have places to help you. Click in the link in the description. Now, here's another platform. This is personalloans.com. All right. And so with personalloans.com, as you can see, they go anywhere from $250 up to $35,000. All right, $250 up to $35,000. Now, the interesting thing about this is by them going from $250 up to $35,000, they are a platform. So they will not be doing a hard pull on your credit, personalloans.com. However, just keep in mind some of the lenders that they recommend for you. Those lenders may choose to do a hard inquiry, but most of the time, like I said, they're going to use third-party credit bureaus to see instead of doing a hard inquiry. All right. Now, another lender that you want to check out is Universal Credit. Now, here's the thing about it with Universal Credit. As you can see, they go anywhere from $1,000 up to $50,000. Now, the minimum credit score with them, with Universal Credit, I think it's about a 560 credit score. So you have to have the minimum 560 credit score. But again, think about it again, soft pull on the credit. So it's not going to impact your credit. This is what most of us are worried about when we're trying to get a loan and we don't know who's willing to help us. That's the reason that I'm putting this video together. So you would have 15 different options you can go to see who's willing to give you a loan. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. Like some of those smaller dollar loans, you can have multiple small dollar loans if you choose to or whatever. So say that you needed $10,000 to $15,000, then some of those $4,000 and $5,000 loans will probably help get you there if none of these bigger companies will give you that large amount at the same time. All right, so just keep that in mind. This is Upgrade. All right, so with Upgrade, they go up to $50,000. They go from $1,000 up to $50,000. All right, and this again won't do an impact on your credit score. So that's the good part about it. Now, let me tell you something that's very interesting about these lenders, because sometimes people have a great credit score. You can have a 740, 750 credit score, but because you have a high debt to income ratio, lenders will not loan you money because you're like with your traditional banks and credit unions, they will only work with you if you're below a 55% debt to income ratio. Now, with PenFed, they'll work with you if you're at a 60% debt to income ratio. But most of these lenders, they work with you if you're at a 75% debt to income ratio. So that's the good part about this, that with these here lenders, they actually work with you. Another lender that you may want to consider is Best Egg, okay? Now, usually with Best Egg, in terms of their loan products and stuff, they want you to be at about a 600 credit score, all right? But your debt to income ratio, again, can be higher than a 50-55% debt to income ratio. So the loans they go up to is $50,000. So Best Egg is definitely one of those ones you may want to take into consideration as well, is Avant. And as you can see here, Avant has different types of loans. And so their loans go anywhere from $2,000 up to $35,000. All right. So the minimum credit score is a 580 credit score, and as you can see, their interest rates go anywhere from 9.95 up to 35.99%. All right, and their loans go anywhere from 1 year up to 5 years. Okay, from 12 months up to 60 months on the loan term. All right, and so in terms of you choose which states, and of course, like I said, California. You're in California, so yes, you are on the list. Yes, you're able to apply for a loan with them. All right. And again, as I stated before, when you apply for this type of loan, there's no impact on the credit. So you can definitely do a pre-approval. At least 15 different options in terms of getting funding. All right. So if you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation.